Hello and welcome to Lionheart Dreamweaving. My name is Matthew and I have a pick a card style tarot reading for you today, with the topic being just what messages do you need to hear right now? So I'm leaving it very general and we're just going to see whatever kind of comes through, whatever strong themes come through for each particular pile. And we have 4 piles for here for you to choose from. Um, and there will be timestamps in the description box down below. So you can go ahead and you can choose whichever pile you feel most drawn to, and if you feel drawn, also you can watch multiple, whatever, however you feel. But anyway, without any further ado, I'm just going to let you choose your pile, and yes, I'll see you at your reading. Okay. Greetings, those of you who chose pile number 1. This beautiful pale green, I think maybe fluorite gemstone. So, these are going to be messages that you need to hear right now. Messages that you most need to hear right now. So, first we have from this Dreams of Gaia Tarot, Thought. And I'm going to read to you from the book about this one because this Dreams of Gaia Tarot has very insightful text in the book about it. And then the rest of these cards I will then interpret intuitively based around the theme that comes from this. Okay. So we have comparison, inner voice, ordinariness, and then Two of Swords, Knight of Wands, and Ten of Wands. Okay. All right. So first I'm going to read to you this card here, Thought. All right. Yeah. So the key phrases here are thought creates reality. Thought is the foundation of consciousness. Don't rush your thinking, be certain. Thought is energy. Energy flows where attention goes. Be mindful of universal laws. Are conscious and unconscious mind in accord? Be realistic instead of optimistic or pessimistic. Good and bad go hand in hand. Change your mind, change your life. Do not overthink or speculate. Question the critical mind speak. Okay, so the main text says, Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. This simple statement expressed by René Descartes is a founding principle of Western philosophy. It means if one questions one's existence, the very act of doubting and unquestioning is proof that one does indeed exist. But what if you are a figment of your own imagination, or the imagination of a God mind? What if you were something else, dreaming of being human, or only existing because someone or something is dreaming of you? We may think we are human. We may think we are real, possessing a solid physical form, and we may think that our world is what it is, but at a quantum level, research suggests that the world around us does not exist unless we focus our attention upon it. It does not become real and remains fluid and changeable until we give it substance, definition, and form. You think the table or chair in front of you is there. Your senses and mind give it substance and form, and so therefore it is. But at a quantum level, the table does not exist until you focus your mind and attention upon it. Thought creates reality. Thought is the second and the one of the most dominant of the influence cards in this deck. For thought, like emotion, will determine the direction of your life. Your thoughts, the way you think, shape and create the world around you. What and how you think is as true a reflection of you as the face that looks back at you when you gaze in the mirror. However, from a scientific standpoint, thought still remains a mystery. Neuroscientists are learning the mechanics of thought, but why it occurs is not yet known and can only be guessed at. Regardless of the way it operates, though, thought is a complex process that involves both the conscious and unconscious mind, and is a result of our senses being stimulated by and reacting to the environment in which we dwell. It is a product of mental activity. It is the manipulation of information in a manner that enables us to conceptualize, reason, work through problems, and make decisions. Thought is at the very foundation of consciousness, and some would suggest that without consciousness, we would not be human. Okay. And so, here for you in the present moment, it says, how we think, whether we think in a positive, confident, and compassionate manner, or whether we think in a negative, critical, and judgmental manner, will give rise to the same energy in our day-to-day lives. Our thoughts are energy in its simplest and purest form, just as all that matter is also energy. So it does not take belief in a particular concept or ideology for our thoughts to have influence on our day-to-day lives, as well as on the lives of those around us. When the thought card appears in the present, it represents taking a holistic approach to your thoughts and accepting their power to shape your reality. Thought, emotion, belief, and perception all work hand in hand with each other. Each is separate from the other, but each also have the power to change one or all four. All four have been shown to govern our overall energy. We attract to us what we focus our thoughts and attention upon, but it is not a simple case of like attracting like. With energy, there's always more to it. Regardless of whether we believe in the concept of universal law or not, these laws will continue to work around us. In simple terms, there are 7 universal laws. They are as follows. Mind. All is of the mind. All is energy. All that exists within your reality is born of what dwells within your mind or the minds of others. We are all born of the universal mind. Correspondence. As above, so below. All that dwells within us dwells externally. What we feel and think within the heart and mind, we will see and experience in the world around us and see mirrored in others. Vibration. Nothing is still. All is energy, and all that is energy vibrates. Everything we experience with our senses takes place on a vibrational level. Everything within the universe vibrates to a particular frequency. Like vibrations will attract the same or similar vibration, while those of a different vibration will repel. Polarity. Everything has its opposite, and those opposites are identical in nature but different by degree. Those opposites are both part of the whole, and without both, there is no whole. Rhythm. Everything ebbs and flows, waxes and wanes, transforms and transmutes. Everything has a season, and every season comes to an end as it flows into the next. Cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason, whether it be by your actions or the actions of others. Gender. Everything contains elements of both masculine and feminine. These universal laws influence our lives, and there is never just one law at work in our experiences. They are all working together and weaving every moment in unison, as if our lives were part of some cosmic tapestry. Whatever we can conceive of it or not, whether we can conceive of it or not, these universal laws are at the foundation of life and existence. With this in mind, it stands to reason that we should at least be mindful and aware that we are the master weavers in control of our own loom and thread. Remember, it matters not how much you want to manifest a particular outcome on a conscious level if your unconscious mind thinks, feels, and believes something contradictory. If your unconscious mind is full of thoughts of failure, fear, or a belief that you do not deserve the outcome you desire, then your overall energy will be very different to what you think it is. Like an ocean, your surface may reflect a peaceful calm, while the depths below are murky and hide currents that can drag you down. And because the thoughts that are locked within the unconscious mind are more deeply rooted within your psyche, your vibration will mirror those unconscious thoughts for good or ill. So you might ask, if an individual has no awareness of what dwells within their unconscious mind, unless it manifests in specific patterns of behavior in the present, how can he or she have any power over those unconscious thoughts and behavior they give rise to? The answer to that, rather than focusing on what is seemingly not in your control, you instead understand that you are a being of unlimited potential and allow the seeds of a new way of thinking to take root. Unconscious thoughts, for example, can lose their power and ability to drive a negative mindset by the simple acceptance that good and bad go hand in hand. Therefore, instead of taking a dichotomous approach based on the notion that we must not be negative and must be positive, flow through life with the awareness that there will always be positive rewards and negative consequences to every experience, and you must take responsibility for your role. Instead of being optimistic or pessimistic, be realistic. Embrace a way of thinking that embraces the whole instead of either or. There is a silver lining to every storm cloud. Remember to look for it. There is something good to be learned from every failure. Try to learn it. There is a ferryman to be paid for every success. Be prepared and willing to pay your dues. In these ways, we can take the bad with the good, and the good with the bad, and find a center place where both are met with peaceful acceptance, instead of the expectation that a particular outcome is the only outcome that will take us to where we need or want to be. Then we can see that just as there is nothing wrong with being positive or optimistic, there is nothing wrong with feeling negative or pessimistic at times. Our vibration is not meant to be static. It changes as we change. Ebb and flow, cause and effect. Working towards any outcome will offer moments of both. What we experience from one day to the next will offer us both. It is good to understand, too, that every time you set your heart and mind to a particular objective, you are likely to experience both moments of bliss and moments of terror, as your thoughts swing from one to the other, back and forth, forth and back. Be mindful and aware of your thoughts and their influence, and shape your mind into one that works in harmony with the universal laws, and you will begin to see your thoughts in action and how they manifest in your reality. If you have ever changed your mind about something, you will know that doing so can change everything. Again, for good or ill, a change in thought can change your life in an instant. The thought card in the present represents a time to really see and appreciate the power of thoughts that dwell within you. Okay. Interesting. So, to put this into context, you also then have, you have here comparison, inner voice, and ordinariness, first of all. So that, again, would, especially this inner voice, kind of reminds me of this thoughts card. And it's kind of in this context, talking on one level at least, about the inner monologue, right? The thoughts that you hear, like literally the voice in your head. And then ordinariness and comparison. So there's like with the comparison card, yeah, it's this kind of mindset of like comparing like yourself to another, comparing one thing to another. Um, it can relate a little bit to like jealousy or like the grass is always greener kind of syndrome. And the ordinariness card is kind of like, well, it does. It says that the magic of life really is in the little things and in the ordinary moments, but it can also be like a kind of sometimes in the more negative perspective, if there's like a negative thought pattern, ordinariness can feel like blandness and boringness, right? So if you have a negative thought pattern going, then with the ordinariness and the comparison, it'll be really that kind of like grass is always greener syndrome going on. Because but the message here of the comparison card is like, so it's like the bamboo and the oak tree, and it's like the bamboo says to the oak tree like, I'm so jealous, you're so strong and sturdy and tall. And the bamboo and the oak tree says to the bamboo that, yeah, like, I'm so jealous of you though, because you're so like skinny and hollow and you grow so fast, like and it's just like a silly thing. It's like that's the point of it. It's just like a silly, like, imagine like if plants compared themselves to each other like that. So it's just saying like it's just a silly thing because we're all humans and we're all like our basic human similarity, but we all have different like lots in life and different skills and gifts and burdens and responsibilities and different situations entirely. And there's always going to be people that have it better than you, and always going to be people that have it worse than you, in many different kind of ways. So it's just like the whole mental thing of comparison. It's just, yeah, it's just not like a healthy thought pattern to get into. Basically, it's the message there. Um, but then on the more positive side, with the inner voice, is like it's like to like getting quiet and like connecting with your intuition more, right? Um, yeah, and so that could be also like plumbing the depths of the unconscious, like to be able to, um, if you can get like calm the mind enough, get in a meditative enough state somehow that you like get um, past the like ordinary like chatter of the mind, right? The like and the comparison, all this like this level of stuff down into it's a quieter state, just for a moment that you can hear the inner voice better, like, and then you can like, kind of like ask yourself questions like in your thoughts, right? And plumb into the unconscious, right? Like this card is talking about the conscious level and the unconscious level of thought needing to be in accord there. Mm. And then so here you have the two of swords here. So this is a mental block again. So this is like, this has to do with like making a choice about something. Um, and it's like not seeing the way, or not, yeah, there being like a mental block here. Mm. Now this would be on this side of the card. It's more so like she's blindfolded and still in the stormy seas. So this would be like more actively, in the situation, and not and being blind and feeling like confused and having a decision to make. But on this side of the card, it actually represents like a moment of calm and like kind of seeing a bit more clearly, in a way, and like because the storm has cleared, right? So this is actually a very positive card to get together with this one, because it also has this moon energy going on here, right? And it's kind of like this is like the thing being all like calming and chaotic, and the clouds covering the moon, and not being able to hear the inner voice and all of this. Um, but it seems like in this moment, actually, you've kind of gotten to a point like where you actually can you have an opportunity where you can see, you can get to a quiet enough mind to like see your sort out your thoughts clearly, and like assess more realistically the situation, and realistically like what is negative and unhealthy thought patterns for you, that and that you could cultivate something better. um yeah. And then you have these two. So this is a ten of wands and knight of wands. So the ten of wands is like a burden, carrying burdens, if this kind of this feeling here. And then the knight of wands is like kind of like your creative motivation, your passionate energy, like your drive forward. Mm. So there's kind of like a duality here, or like some mm, something that needs to come into balance here, because there's like this on one hand, this like drive and this energy and this motivation and this passion, this creativity, um it wants to go in this direction here, right? But there's these burdens that are pulling you like in this direction over here. Okay. um or it's like obligation or responsibility or something that feels burdensome, like, you know what I mean? Um, and the solution in the Ten of Wands is always like that you just at some point have to just decide to drop the burdens, right? And then this talked about having a decision to make here. Mm. So, yeah, these three specific cards, these are going to be like, these are my like specific situation cards. So these are going to be like, this could be for some of you. This could relate to a specific situation where you like made a decision that was burdensome, where you had to like drop some responsibility and move to something else. Or this could be in a more this could all be for some of you on the thought level, because this thought card in the beginning here. Um, so because it's really like with this ordinariness card also, like coming together with this knight of wands. So this talks about like having like this kind of like creative passion and inspiration in life, and like kind of riding forward on that with this like unicorn magical horse, right? um, so and the ordinariness card talks about like actually the magic in life. You can find the magic in the ordinary moments. Um, so it's kind of like there's a contrast here, like almost like even doing the same things, depending, doing the same activity in your physical life, right? Depending how you think about it, also like you can have like a comparison attitude or like whatever, depending like the attitude you come into it with, right? Like the what you'll experience can either be feeling like this, like a walk in the garden, like a blissful, like, you know, having a like magical sunny day in nature, or like burdensome, dark, heavy care, you know, yeah, all like, so you see the contrast here. And this is just depending like the kind of thought pattern that you put into it, and because that will like influence even just the way you frame things with your thoughts, and the inner voice you have, that's like the inner voice that you have that's like talking to you in your thoughts here, um as you're going through your ordinary experiences, like will shape also like the emotional experience of it. Would that, is it feeling more like this, or is it feeling more like this? And even just like the same experience, like for example going to your job for like every day or whatever, or like doing the dishes or something, right? um Yeah, so for you, then it's just like a matter of cultivating those like healthy thought processes, and and it doesn't have to lean either towards like optimism or pessimism, because that kind of leans toward those are both traps for like this like kind of negative thought process of comparison, but just like realistic, yeah. And then like kind of like open to seeing the magic in the ordinary moments, right? And then also like with that kind of like awareness of how your thoughts create reality, and then maybe you start to see like synchronicities in your ordinary life of um how that's working for you, and then and how it starts to flow for you the more that you like implement these like positive like thought changes. And then that also drives like fuels your inspiration and motivation, and yeah. So that's the whole message I have for you. So thank you very much for listening. I hope it was helpful for you and insightful. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment because I like to read your comments. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Greetings to those of you who chose pile number 2. So here is the message that you need to hear right now. So first card you have is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and I'm actually going to read you from the book about this card because the book that comes with this deck is quite insightful. It's very good text, so I'm going to read that out loud to you. Okay, you have the Seven of Fire. All right, we'll return to that in a moment. And then you have these other cards. I will, after I read from the book, I'm going to do interpretive reading with the rest of these cards. Intuitive reading. Okay. So you have the Lovers. You have Trust. You have the Fool. Okay. You have King of Cups. Five of Cups. And Knight of Cups. All cups. That is something. Wow. Wow. You know what? I think actually this is double Knight of Cups. Trust is also Knight of Cups. That okay. I'll just make note of that. Okay. So, all right. First thing I'm going to do is read to you this card. So Seven of Fire. So the key words are divination, signs, heeding intuition, looking within, seeking answers, discovery, awareness, trust. And the key phrases are heed your intuition, a feeling of recognition, inexplicable coincidences, moments that repeat. Personal interpretation is crucial. Only you know the answer. Look beyond the surface. Observe and be aware. Okay. So the main body of text here says the Seven of Fire represents the development and use of one's intuition to see the way forward and predict possible outcomes. Intuition is that gut feeling. It is an instinctual or unconscious knowing that, when you heed it, can keep you safe from making mistakes and lead you to being in the right place at the right time. It is a feeling of recognition that we often ignore, but if we choose to heed, can have us moving through life in a harmonious accord with our surroundings. In actively using and then trusting your intuition on a regular basis, you may find you observe more, and in turn, you learn more. You start to see and take notice of signs and messages along the way. You take notice of those little inexplicable coincidences and moments that keep repeating, and, if you heed them, can take you on an adventure of discovery, revealing not only the truths you seek, but also your reason for being. Using that Using and heeding your intuition can lead you to opportunities and experiences that offer the potential to both fulfill you and inspire others. However, to trust in one's intuition requires that you look within and determine what the message means to you personally. You can ask advice. I have to turn the page one moment. Of another. You can seek guidance from another, but only you know your answers. Personal interpretation is key. Trusting in the knowledge that is stored within your unconscious mind is key. Third parties can offer insight, but they see and understand life through eyes that have been shaped and influenced by their own experiences, not yours. Only you know what something means for you specifically. Only you know if something is right for you. The Seven of Fire represents a need to actively develop or trust in your intuition and instincts at this time. Look around you, observe, speak to the cards on a regular basis, and honor the truths revealed by going where your intuition leads you. Okay. So, all right. So it's about developing your intuition, really. And then you have the trust card here, which is funny because it's like trust your intuition, right? And being willing to take like a leap in something because you have this like it's like the symbolism of this person leaping, and then you have the Fool card, which is also like taking a leap, right? Um, and then you have the Lovers, which so this is a general reading. So the Lovers has many meanings. So just general reading for a wide audience. So just take whatever most relevant to you. But so the one meaning is, of course, an actual like romantic interest, choice of partner. But in general, also the Lovers can just mean any kind of choice, major life choice, or like the way that you navigate life choices. And then also like I'm seeing just because of this like heart here that it's kind of like this like attitude of like open heartedness as well, or like trusting the heart or something, because there's this like intuition here. It's like with this woman, like there's this together with the like her fire energy, and then kind of with the heart here, it's kind of like yeah. So it's like trusting the heart kind of thing, and being willing to like take a leap based on that, like based on those gut instincts and the like what you feel in the gut instincts and in the heart, the instincts like that. Um, and then here you have King of Cups, Five of Cups, Knight of Cups. Okay. So this is kind of like trying to like come into like an emotional balance because you have the King of Cups and he's like mature and balanced in his emotions. But it's like how to come to grips with the like loss and heartbreak experiences of life, that like because you have this like Knight of Cups, which is kind of this like romantic idealism, and it's very much wanting this energy of the Knight of Cups is very much like naturally dreamy and idealistic, romantic, adventurer, and wants to be like the Fool, trust, jumping into like the Lovers kind of relationship and following their intuition and gut dreams and stuff. But if you've had like any experiences of doing that, trying to do that, and your idealism gets like crushed actually in a relationship or something, uh, or anyway, there's like this spilled cups here of like something not working out or like causing negative feelings, right? Um, and grief over that. So it's kind of like it could be like a reality sometimes crushing that idealism, which makes it a little bit hard. But if that those kind of experiences you just had, I guess that's like the more mature perspective to integrate with that. Then is the core message of like sharpening your intuition, and then taking any like previous experiences like that, if you have any, like if that message applied to you, um, then taking like those previous experiences of like loss or disappointment as ways to like as reflections of like lessons for sharpening your intuition going forward, basically. um and yeah, and then also just coming to terms with it on an emotional level, right? Like and being able to like heal and like open your heart again, because the King of Cups is like mature and grounded in healing and healed kind of energy, right? So it's like trying to strike a balance between those two things, so then so that you can, and then and developing the connection to the intuition, so that like the kind of guidance that you're following is actually like like that correct like connection, you know what I mean? And then but you'll notice that because of like then like the synchronicities and the magic and the things that are aligning for you, like that will like be the thing that's supposed to be guiding the way, right? So that's what you follow. And then you when you see the synchronicities and everything, you just like you make the jump into them like trustingly, like foolishly trustingly, right? And it's like those life choices. It's like navigating. So this is kind of for you. It's actually about like it's this journey of like navigate like to make your dreams, your heart's dreams come true here with the, because it's all like emotion based. To make your like heart's dreams come true, it's just like this path of like navigating these mm, synchronicities along the way. Yeah. Um, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's the whole message I have for you. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening. And please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and comment because I always like to read your comments. And yeah, thank you very much for listening, and see you next time. Greetings to those of you who chose pile number 3. So, um, this is your reading for messages that you need to hear right now. So I have the first card is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and it has a really insightful book. So I'm going to actually read it to you from the book from this card. You have the Two of Fire. Okay. So we'll return to that in a moment. And then these other cards, I'm going to, after I read from the book, I'm going to intuitively interpret the rest of these cards in that context. Okay. So you have, oh my God, Two of Fire again. That's interesting. And possibilities. Wow. Double. Two of Fire twice from different decks. Okay, going with the flow. Sharing. Six of Pentacles. Four of Wands. And the Chariot. Okay, so I am going to read to you from the book this card. So the key words for you are power sharing, mentorship, partnerships, equality, teamwork, mutual interests, ambition, control. The key phrases are align yourself with another, a power sharing situation, two heads are better than one, a time for teamwork and cooperation, a struggle for power. Seek one who will teach much needed skills, an equal exchange of energy, someone who will help you overcome obstacles. Okay, so the meaning. The two of fire represents partnerships and aligning yourself with another who shares your goals and visions in order to make an idea a reality. It symbolizes a power sharing situation where two people with mutual interests work together because together they have more chance of success in achieving their ambitions than they would if they had worked alone. The two of fire represents teamwork and working together in a harmonious way. The division of labor is natural and organic, as each has different but equal strengths that, when brought together, create a stronger and united whole. It signifies an equal exchange of energy where both parties derive the same reward and satisfaction. Do you have a goal or outcome you wish to manifest but cannot accomplish without assistance? When the two of fire appears in your reading, it represents an opportunity to work with someone in a collaborative way that may allow you both to make thought a reality. When a person comes to you as a mentor who, by working with you, can teach you much needed skills, or a partner who works with you to have the workload, your shared vision and mutual interest will help you overcome the obstacles you have found in your path that may be preventing you from moving forward. Now is the time for teamwork. In this situation, two heads are better than one, and two pairs of hands make the lighter work. Potential blockage. The two of fire, when it appears reversed, well, it didn't appear reversed, but I'm going to read this. You know, the cards are also positive. Actually, I don't think I even need to read the blockage, to be honest. Um, because you have actually, so to go kind of with that theme of like partnership or cooperation, because you have the sharing card here, and then the six of pentacles next to it is also like a card of generosity, right? And it's like kind of the energy of like what you give out is what you get back in return. Reciprocal like flow of energy going, like in your generosity, like comes back to you, like multiplied kind of positive energy flow. And then the sharing is also the kind of like reciprocal energy flow. It's the same kind of idea between people, and then this is kind of like having an abundance or something like to be able to share. Um, it's kind of like this could be a potential for like a very fruitful like collaboration. Like with the you got the possibilities here, so with the double possibilities, uh, yeah. And you're it feels like though like it's like there's a lot of great potential here, an abundance, like really positive energy flow, and you're just going with the flow, which is great. Like you just have all positive energy on this spread actually, which is why I didn't even read the blockage, because for you I just don't see any blockage to this energy, because like all these are kind of aligned, they're all facing the same direction. You're going with the flow, like you're in the flow of possibilities and you're like sharing. And with the abundance, it's kind of like this reciprocal thing, right? So if you're putting good energy out and sharing and like investing out, then it comes back to you and you get more possibilities for cooperation and collaborative partnerships. And then there's this energy here at the Four of Wands of like celebration. And then there's this kind of like the Chariot, and then it's like kind of just moving forward with plans. Like you're just moving forward with something here. Like you're out going navigating, going with the flow and navigating through this like field of possibilities that's presenting itself through like opportunities and partnerships or collaborations, right? And you're just kind of like, yeah, just there's a celebration, so there's like good energy, and you're just kind of going with the flow and moving forward with things, and yeah, very positive. You know, it's so positive though, and this reading is short that it kind of makes me wonder, should I actually read the blockage? I'll read it now at the end. So just if it applies to you, um, then you'll know. And you'll be like, yeah, yeah, anyway, if you're still listening. Anyway. The Two of Fire, when it appears reversed, can symbolize a struggle for control and power. Perhaps there's currently an unequal exchange of energies where one is vying to be the boss instead of an equal partner. If so, this is an imbalance that needs to be addressed, or all of your hard work may be proven to have been for naught. Take a look. Are you doing all the work while your partner sits back and reaps the rewards? If so, ask yourself how much you wish to be the one in charge and take the reins of control. If there is a genuine need because one or both of you have deviated from the path you both agreed upon, or is the desire for control purely ego driven? In any case, it's time to sit down now and address any inequalities within the partnership and determine whether you both still share the same goals and ambitions. Okay. So that's just a side note if that were to apply to you, but or it's just something to be cautious of, I guess, is like any kind of power dynamics in a relationship. But it seems though they for most of you this energy is just so positive and you're like just navigating through and like going with the flow and like whatever relationships that you've gotten yourself invested at this point are like kind of reaping positive rewards, it seems. Um, yeah, so it's kind of a shorter message than some of the other ones, short but sweet. It's just all smooth sailing right now, it looks like, for you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that message. I hope it was helpful, nice for you to listen to. And yeah, if you like the video, please like it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Welcome. And comment. I always like to read your comments down below. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Greetings, those of you who chose pile number 4. So, these are your messages that you need to hear right now. So, first card is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and I actually, the Met has a really insightful book for it. With it, I'm actually going to read to you from the book for this card. And you have, okay, you have healing. Okay, that's interesting. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna return to that in a moment. And then I have these other cards. I will, after I read, I will intuitively interpret these to add some more context and depth to the message. So you have moment to moment. You have breakthrough. You have schizophrenia. 8 of Swords. Oh, it wants to flip over. I dropped it. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it wants to, I'll talk about that later. 6 of Swords. And then High Priestess. Ooh, interesting. Okay. All right. So, first, I will read from the book here. Okay, healing. Keywords: healing, release, purification, forgiveness, transformation, infection. Key phrases: to be human is to be wounded. A time to connect with the body, mind, spirit, and soul. Let go of decisions and labels. Nurture passions and seek pleasure. Authenticity, honesty, and laughter. Find the source of disease and distress. You need to forgive. Do what's necessary to increase well being. Do not dwell on the unchangeable past. Shift your attention. Do not allow your pain to hurt others. Seek treatment. Do not be afraid. Meaning: the healing card illustrates our third reason for being. However, it covers healing on several levels, and it does not necessarily suggest or imply that you are wounded or in need of healing, at least not on a conscious level. A happy, safe, and peaceful life does not always accord us with perfect health and well being. Every person is vulnerable to dis-ease, whether that manifests in physical, mental, or emotional stress, or as a feeling of emptiness and longing that is born of spiritual wounds. Humans are a part of a hierarchical race. We have a social order with the elite and wealthy at the top and the uneducated and poor at the bottom. We are a species that is driven to win, with each of us striving to do better, to be better than the generation that came before. Those at the top want to stay there, and those at the bottom want to reach the top. We are goal oriented. And believe that success moves us forward and failure sets us back. We are on a perpetual quest to improve, whether it be our social standing, quality of life, or a simple desire to be a better person. We must be better. We must do better. But what is better? In our quest for betterment, are we making ourselves ill? In the simplest terms, we often see success and failures in the same light as we do life and death. To succeed is to live, to fail is to die, or worse still, to descend into poverty, mediocrity, and obscurity. We become fixated on being the best, succeeding at all that we do, and yet we may still fail to thrive. We may find that we are not happy. We may find we are not healthy. Sometimes we find that even when we do accomplish our goals and are rewarded with wealth and prosperity, we are not satisfied and crave more. Are we enduring and doing only what needs to be done in order to survive? Are we so fixated on acquiring possessions that we have forgotten that happiness and well being begin within us? Are we truly living? There's often so much going on around us in our day to day lives that we disconnect from our body, our thoughts, and emotions to such an extreme that when somebody asks, "How are you?" we automatically say, "I am well," regardless of our true feelings or whether we are physically well or not. To do this as an act of self preservation and hinders our vulnerability, our weariness, our dissatisfaction, and our dis-ease from others. We may be afraid of being honest, because to do so could reveal our weaknesses in a world where we must always be strong in order to survive and succeed. The sad truth is that we may not only be doing it in order to hide our true state from others, but to hide it from ourselves. The healing card symbolizes a need to reconnect and listen to what your body, mind, and feelings are telling you, to work with them instead of against them. Whether it be as simple as addressing a physical ailment or addressing that empty ache that comes from denying ourselves enjoyment and connection, this card signals that it is a time to rip off the layers of illusion the protective armor and the masks, and look at what lies beneath. Are you fulfilled? Do you love your life? Are you happy, or do you need everything that you strive for in order to be happy? Are you living a fulfilling life that you love, or are you simply enduring and dying a little bit more each and every day? The healing card brings with it questions like these. It also asks you to look at your life and determine whether your path heals you or harms you. If it is the latter, the healing card reminds you that it is in your power to change direction. Okay. So, in the present moment, it is time to have health. Is it time to have a health check? You might not have visited with your chosen health practitioner for a while, and it might be time to do so, just to make sure everything is as it should be. Address any unresolved health issue in the present so that it does not develop into something more problematic in the future. If you are in pain and you do not know why, seek help. If you have any unexplained symptoms and reactions, now is the time to discover why. Act now so that your future is long and bright. You might also just need to take a moment to look within and determine whether there are any unresolved thoughts or feelings that need to be addressed in order to maintain your emotional and mental well being. The healing card in the present symbolizes pain and suffering in the now and the importance of addressing it in the now. If you are experiencing any form of pain, do not ignore it. If you are feeling burdened by weighted emotion, whether fear, guilt, remorse, jealousy, or regret, do not ignore it. Do not shrug aside the moments and feelings that cause you pain with a false air of detachment or a belief that what you are feeling is base in nature and unworthy of your time and attention. Your feelings are very worthy, and there are times when your attention is necessary. When the healing card appears in the present, it symbolizes the need to be honest and expressive instead of choosing a path of repression and denial. It is a time to listen, determine, and acknowledge the source of your discomfort or distress, and then do what is necessary in order to heal it. It also represents the need to take aggressive measures in matters that are repeatedly causing you distress. It is time to de-stress. It is important not to ignore the little things or leave anything unaddressed or unexpressed. It is especially important not to deny hurt or anger if you are feeling it. If something or someone has caused you upset, be honest and say so. It is often the little splinters and barbs that lead to infection that would not have the opportunity to develop if we hadn't taken the time to treat the wound immediately. We ignore the small slights and discourtesies without realizing that over time our failures to acknowledge and address them has allowed them to grow into major resentments that can bring disruption to our lives and relationships. Instead of reacting, we overreact. Instead of taking 5 minutes to clear the air along the way, we simmer in silence until we can remain silent no longer and react in a manner that destroys. Worse still, those little things that create stress and feed stress, and stress can and does make us ill. Unaddressed and unacknowledged pain, fear, and anger can become a source of dis-ease and suffering. Act with compassion, but also without guilt and remorse, to remove toxic elements from your life. Yeah, I'll say that again. That's important. Act with compassion, but also without guilt and remorse to remove toxic elements from your life. Do so with the awareness that there are times when the only way to move forward, to heal completely, is to act in a manner that you know may bring you discomfort. The appearance of the healing card suggests, however, that if you do not act now, there may be far greater consequences. If what seems like being cruel to be kind is the only option available, that will bring you healing, then the healing card in the present advises you to do so. You might need to end a relationship. You might need to get off your backside, move, and lose weight in order to prevent disease. You might need to learn how to relax and be still, to play and laugh. Regardless, this is one of those moments where when you do what needs to be done, even if it means enduring suffering more in the short term. Finally, you may be presented with the opportunity to rise above and transcend the moment. But in order to do so, you will still need to first acknowledge and then forgive the moment and your reaction to it. You do not need to pretend you have no feelings about your situation. You are not stone. You are not impervious. So allow yourself to feel and then to react. How you respond after that is your choice, but if there is a funny side, try to seize it and laugh until your sides hurt. Life is too short, and laughter is always the best medicine. Oh, that's a nice message. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's definitely like a mental aspect going on here. Because it's talking about like repressing certain things until it like bottles up and explodes, and then so there's like this kind of like breakthrough energy here. So that could be representing that sometimes, because there's like the schizophrenia here, which is kind of like a bit of like just mental chaos or like difficult like mental patterns, right? And then the and it's next to the Eight of Swords. So that's the Eight of Swords is being stuck in a certain way of thinking, or being blinded to a certain way, like something, or blinded to how like the way you're thinking is affecting your world. But the good news is that these are two very like difficult cards. This is like not a good situation, these two. Um, but you know what? Like it's great because you're in it's like the context of healing. And then you have on the next side of it actually a perfect energy, which is the Six of Swords, which is uh, healing mental problems, mental issues. It's like crossing over the water and like overcoming the suffering and the pain and difficulties caused by your own like mindset and mental problems here. So, because there's kind of like this situation here with this schizophrenia card. If you look at it, so this person's like driving themselves crazy because they're kind of like feeling like stuck in between this impossible choice or something here, like or they're trying to like bridge two impossible things in their mind or something. And yeah, so they're kind of like stuck in this thing, and the only real option is for them to like let go. But they're not even seeing it, like because they're blinded. This blind, and it's funny because at the beginning of the reading, when this card came out, I tried to put the card down. It flipped over in my hand, so I want to show you the back side of this card. These are double-sided cards, so this would be seeing clearly like the way out of the situation, which is that like actually like so you have the higher vision and you actually have the sword in your hand, which is the knowledge, and then you cut the thing. But yeah, so the thing is with the schizophrenia card, like you just have to kind of like make the leap and just like let go of this whole like thought pattern entirely and just fall. And then it's kind of like a breakthrough actually with that. So it's kind of like this breakthrough energy. So like I said, like in the beginning, this could be like negative outbursts, but also this is like a very positive thing. Like this could also be like the healing breakthrough as well. Um, yeah, and then what you're getting to is on the outside, you're coming from this kind of moving outward. So you have in the outer row, you have this moment to moment, and then the High Priestess. So the High Priestess card is like this kind of like divine cosmic wisdom here. She holds that. She represents that. She holds the secrets of that. And normally, like she's quiet, like she's silent. So she's like the inner voice, kind of represents that, or like inner wisdom that is very like silent, kind of. Um, and but you got on this side, which is like actually kind of the secret keys of her wisdom here. then they're just kind of like open here for you to like take. Like you have the keys of the wisdom of the secrets of the high priestess here of the intuitive master. What and it's person here like they're just going like moment to moment here. They're just like navigating through this kind of thing. So it's kind of like that kind of like going from a very constricted and like negative or toxic mind state and being able to like figure out your way that you can just let go of the toxicity. Like you just figure out you see that, open your eyes a little bit to the like what is the toxic parts of this way of thinking, this mindset, and you have a breakthrough where you're able to like let it go. And it's like almost like reaching a enlightenment moment in a way, or like a mini enlightenment, because or just because it's coming to a like this new way of operating or moving through the world, where once you like get yourself out of this stuck position, like you're able to like move very like freely and intuitively, moment to moment. It's coming from this like healing state, basically. This is talking basically this whole reading I'm giving in the context is really speaking to healing mental health issues or like negative thinking patterns, and having a breakthrough with that. And you can see like I see like that both of these guys are like wearing these white robes here. So it's a similar kind of energy here thing. And this girl's also wearing white. um, yeah. So uh, I think yeah, for the advice for you, like overall, to wrap it up, it is just to say, yeah, like if you're struggling with like negative or toxic thinking patterns, like really you just have to see it for what it is, see it for what it is, and just let it go. Like realize that you can just drop it um, in a sudden moment, because that's kind of what this breakthrough energy is. Like that's like it's advising you like the best way to do that, because with the schizophrenia like thing, like the only solution here is to just drop, and then there's like this breakthrough moment, right? And then there's like it's like a healing from the mental things, and then getting in touch with like your higher self, true self, or like having like a moment where you're just like you get really in the flow of reality, and it kind of like heals your like relationship with the like mental problems here. That was all the messages that I have for you, and thank you very much for listening. And please like the video if you liked it. If you hope you got something beneficial out of it, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and comment down below if you, because I always like to read your comments. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.